Hello everyone, this is Dashcam Owners Australia, bringing you a review of the Dome G90 7S. Some of you may remember I reviewed the original Dome G90 not too long ago and was very impressed by it. This is just going to be a very quick review to cover some of the changes in the new model. As you can see by these pictures, it's almost identical to the old model, just with different button layout along the bottom. That's about it. Now if you want to pause in this next slide, you can see the technical specifications just before I get into some of the changes here. Now the main updates on this camera as opposed to the old camera are we have a few new viewing modes. As you can see, we've got 2560 by 1080p, 2304 by 1296p. Then we also have our standard 1080p, but we've got it at 60 frames per second. And then there's your general 1080p 30, there's a 720p 60 and a 720p 30. With this new version there is also a GPS option available. The camera I'm testing today does not have that option enabled, but the GPS option will give you, of course, speed, location and lane departure warnings and all that sort of stuff. This camera is available from Gearbest.com. I'll have some details down in the description, as well as a coupon code which will get you this camera for about $105 Australian with the GPS module. So it's a pretty good deal. Alright, now we'll get into some footage. Now I'll just mention that all the video settings I've used on this camera are the same as I used in the original Dome G90 review, which can be found in the top right corner of your screen. There is a link to that review, which will also cover all the menus as they haven't really changed. Now, into the footage. As you can see, nice bright day, sun out, bit of cloud cover. The camera's doing a very nice job. I'm of course recording in 1296p. That won't show up on YouTube due to my editing software, but it's, still going to come out very clear. Alright, as you can see, as the vehicle's driving past, you can make out the plates, so it does a very good job in 1296p, and it's also good on my computer. I've been able to blow up the images. You get a bit more clarity if you need to zoom in on something, so it is a good option having that setting. As with the old camera, this one also has seamless recording, as you'll see in a minute. I'll transition between two different film clips, and there you have it. That's two clips joined end to end there. You wouldn't even notice there's a gap. It's totally seamless footage. Now I'll just let this run for a little bit just to show you what the footage is like while driving on the fly. We've changed now, look directly into the sun. As you can see, the sky brightens up quite a bit, but it hasn't changed the clarity of the footage at the driver's level. It's still doing a very nice job there. Now we'll take a look at some nighttime footage. I've got a couple different clips here to show you. We'll see if it's up to par with the previous model, which I felt was very good at nighttime footage. Alright, so what we have here is 8 PM at night, New South Wales. Only a tiny little bit of sunlight left in the sky there, but as you can see, it's basically what you'd say is dark. And as you can tell, it's doing a very good job with this level of light. Back at the lights, we could make out the license plates of all three vehicles that were there, the street signs, so it's doing a very good job pulling the light in this scenario. Now we'll check out another clip. This is a bit later, this is about 9:15 at night. I'm just going through the main street of a suburb here. As you can see, it's pulling the light from all the stores, doing a very nice job to brighten everything up, and it's very detailed. You can make out all the signs on the businesses, so it's a very impressive little camera still for the price you're paying. Now I'll transition over to a darker street, because as we all know, driving is not always going to be well lit main streets, so I'll go to something a bit darker, which will essentially, it's a main road, so you've got the odd street light, but with less buildings and stuff to help the camera out. Here we go. We've just got our basic street lights and other vehicles. I'm going to stop talking now just so you can hear what the actual audio on the camera itself is like. Alright, as you noticed there, the audio from the camera is still quite soft. In the old model, the microphone wasn't that brilliant itself. It's still not great, but I'd say it's better than it was. But then again, a microphone is not going to be the most important feature for most people regarding a dashcam, especially something in this price range. Like I said, it's about $105 if you use the coupon code that's in the description below. So I still say you're getting a very good deal for essentially what you're paying there. So my final thoughts on this camera, I'm still very impressed with these cameras, even more so with this one. I think the 1296p is a very nice addition here, and a few of the other image modes I think will be very interesting, which I'm going to have a further play around with to see what I like. 60 frames per second 1080p, I'm sure many people will find useful there. But yeah, overall, good camera for about the $100 mark. I'd say you really can't go wrong here. So if you have any further questions or inquiries about this camera that you'd like to ask, just post a comment down below and I'll do my best to respond to that as well. Alright, this is Troy from Dashcam Owners Australia saying goodbye.